Yeah. Okay. This is basically just a backup for John Noyen. So he goes for all your National Geographic sort of thing. They got interesting. Now, he says he's got 2 articles, but he's whipped them out. Make sure you take note of the page numbers, because I've got a National Geographic that has an article apparently in it, but the article, Alpine Jewels, that's the name of the article, is only 4 pages. You know, probably lots of pics and a little bit of blurb sort of thing from the, I think it's the Stirling Ranges, or yeah, I think it's from the Stirling Ranges. Not sure now, can't remember. But it's been sliced out with a razor blade, so the article's not actually in the journal, but by actually counting the page numbers, I was going to send it to Joel, but there's no actual article in the National Geographic. I couldn't do that. I found it for years, thinking, where is this article sort of thing? It's not there. I noticed, been very carefully cut out with a scalpel blade. So watch the page numbers. So this is May 1964, volume 125. That will become interesting in the next one when we get to that one. So this one, most people have seen this one. If you haven't seen this, it will be a treat for you. But this is just a backup through, yeah, we get to... It's quite a long article too, so that's why I cut a few clips out to make sure I had enough. Yeah, so maybe we can balance it across, I don't know. Anyway, so this is Malaysia's Giant Insect Trapping Powers by Paul A. Zahl. This is, I think, the 3rd in his series. There's the original one, which is In a City Parlor, which is hard to come by. I've never even seen it. I've only heard about it, sort of thing. So we got here. Yeah, and I don't know, it's hard to film this one because they've got it in a different style, so I just can't do columns like I do. So count the page, it starts on page 680, and you've got some nice pics here of Mount Kinabalu sort of thing. I've got the winds coming up today, so it's going to be not only annoying for me turning the pages, but it's going to be annoying for you in the camera, I suppose. So yeah, so on and so forth. So just pause at your leisure sort of thing. It's just a backup for John if he goes into the old folks' home, and you know, he can just pull this up online and reminisce. He's got some amazing photographs back then. This is one of my 2 favourite Nepenthes from my childhood, Nepenthes ampullaria, and the other one was the classic alata that you see on the very first colour CPN of the 1980s, I think. 1978. Yeah, no. So I just came across the border and we got our first colour thing. The idea was to go to, yeah, oh, in case you wanted that. Yeah, it might be important, I don't know. Okay. So the idea was to do exactly what we did in the black and whites, have colour and news and views. And because of this, they cut out the news and views, and we lost all the information about people like Eric Greeny Eye, what he did, all his trips and all his information. Never got that in CPN during the 80s and 90s, basically, and the new millennium, the noughties, I suppose. None of that got in there because they cut out the news and views, basically. Yeah. And they never really made use of the colour photograph to its greatest extent, basically. So, you know, having spreaded all this, you know, we're going to do it better sort of thing, we lost the most important part of the newsletter. They all went scientific sort of thing. Lots of scientific articles, blah blah, not as many colour photographs as we would like, and basically no news and views. The most important part of the journal, the history and the innovations, you know, where did the peat and perlite, you know, come from? When did it overtake peat and sand and all things like that? Never got that. So yeah, it would have been nice to yeah, leeches and leeches everywhere, sort of thing. And yeah, you got to do some steep mountain climbing in these places. So between myself and Stuart McPherson, it's probably going to be Stuart McPherson that falls off the mountain with no name. yeah, I think that was bullshit too. I watched another a documentary on these things, and basically that's bullshit as well. the man. I mean, not the man of constant sorrow, but the man of total bullshit. You know, I think that's what it is. So, anyway, I think that's what we're going to end up with. Yeah, nice photograph. Apparently, you can cook your rice in these things around here. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just giving you a general overview. If you really want to read it in detail. And you've got the contents, of course, of what's in there. I don't know. These look giant. I think they do grow quite large, but some of the photos I've seen, they might actually be like just a few inches, but apparently they do grow big. Well, that's what the photograph implied, anyway. So I was a bit shocked when I saw one that was only like 2 inches in size. So yeah, on this one here, across the blurb. So yeah. I think we're going to have to change kneeling position shortly. So yeah, that was quite a epic photograph there. Yeah, I mean, what we don't say to the Democrats is anyone who used to collect National Geographic cannot be a racist, because we used to embrace all these things. You know, yeah, they're just these demon rats are just full of shit. Basically, that's what it is. Everything is racist. Dun, dun, dun. Everything is bullshit. Yeah. I'm doing the Brendan Dilly the meme songs. I think, hey, well, because I can. You know what I mean? Yeah, and yeah, he's moved to Georgia, by the way, Brendan Dilly. So apparently, Georgia is the last that absolutely embraces BDE. Yeah, that's big dick energy, by the way, if you didn't know. Oh, yeah. Saw some very interesting clips up online. Okay. Last night. So, yeah, I keep still remembering in the back of my mind that bloke that says, if we ever have to come back, we're bringing our guns. This is on January 6th. 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021. So yeah. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, this is the second, I think, in the Zahl. I may be wrong. This is May 1961. The other one was May 1964. So yeah, that's after the Kennedy assassination. This is a few years before the Kennedy assassination. So we've got, where is it? Plants that eat animals. There we go. That's the article. So, yeah, oh yeah, somewhere. This is quite a nice one. If you've never seen this one before, you'll get a kick out. Oh, bugger. Yeah, plants that eat animals. Absolutely stunning photography here by, well, himself, I believe. So, we go on to the thing. Yeah, sorry, my hand's starting to fall off now. I'm getting old. I'm nearly 60, so, you know, a couple more years I'll be 60. And everything's falling apart, basically, so, you know. Just go in the gym and do some work. You bloody kill yourself going in the gym and working out. As I said, I did walking for 3 months and I can barely stumble around now. It's my... yeah. Lots of bag from the Carolina Biological Supply when they basically just dug them out of the ground. It's like the old folks here, you know. Yeah, telling all this bullshit about peat and sand, and having these amazing plants, and basically they were just digging them out the wild, as we found out from a 77-year-old member who still happened to be living at the same address that was in the old black and whites from the 1970s. Isn't that bloody fucking amazing, as we say down under in Australian parlance? Yeah, apparently that's his daughter, who's still alive, I believe. He died a few years ago now, about half a decade ago, I think. But yeah. Anyway, but this is a lovely photograph. Now, this is amazing for the fact that it shows you that the root hairs are almost the size of the cotyledons, sort of thing. Now, in that 1958 paper by Oostings and Oostings, or Roberts and Oostings, in the actual paper, I think they got married. special case after the Second World War. Yeah, they talk about long persistent root hairs. Now these can actually be red when they first come out too, and under certain conditions too, so they go to this like fawn colour. But that's a very important photograph because it shows you how important the root part of the plant must actually be for those root hairs to be that long, that early in the plant's development. But most people tend to skip over that fact, and also the point that they made, these botanists, to actually mention and feature in their thing that they have long persistent root hairs in the wild. In the wild they have long persistent root hairs. Now to a botanist that means something bigger or greater than peas and beans if you go to standard botany class. So yeah. So yeah. And of course eventually he takes a trip out to Butterfly Valley. Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah. I'll do one on the two Tupuris probably tomorrow, so I'm just getting these ones out of the way, I think. Yeah, slowly waning here, trying to hold this thing. Oh, yeah. Who is it that sent Donnie and I the most amazing thing? We used to get sent spats, all sorts of spats, and I think this bloke who now lives down with Paul Temple on that island next to Cuba or something, I've forgotten now what it's called now. Forgive me, I'm getting old. Yeah, he sent us a true, I think it was communist. Never been so amazed in my life. Someone actually sent us something that wasn't actually just another bloody fucking spat. Yeah, absolutely thankful. So yeah, I've forgotten his. It's on one of the videos. If you look at the Donny videos from 20 years ago, well, more than 20 years ago now, I think, almost 20-year anniversary, go through those, and yeah. I like the hoods in there. They always used to look different to the way they grew here. So in the wild, the hoods seem to be, I don't know, almost didn't seem they were attached to anything. Oh, this is one of my favourites. I like the flatlanders, so I'm into Citacina. I like Citacina, and I like all the perp forms and things like. You know, this is basically Banardiforma mania for Sarracenia in Sarracenia country. Yeah, I'm not one of these who goes for these giant ones. You know, I like the flatlanders. So that's another point that distinguishes me from everybody else. I came into ribbon tentacles via glandula, not via Bermannia like everyone else does, because we didn't have slack one here back in the day. So there you go, that's his wife going to Butterfly Valley, you know. So yeah, there you go, and there she is. So I hope the camera's doing its magic. So I was pretty blown away with the colours from yesterday's one. So oh, and that's the end of it. So it ends with Darlingtonia. So yeah, and now we'll probably get to an ancient one that not many of you probably have seen. Number 5 is definitely not alive. Boy in there, yeah, I know. Yeah, I can do those. I can make those sort of instant jokes. They say I don't have a sense of humour, and yet I can make instantaneous jokes like that. So yeah. Haven't even worked it out yet. It's all bullshit. Everything is bullshit. You know, all these demon rats. That's how they do. They make everything up. It's all bullshit. That's the trouble. Fake news, fake everything, basically, and it's going to come to a head pretty soon, I reckon, with the Dutch and the Netherlands. The Netherlands, they're going the same way as Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, they cut their nitrogen supply down by 50%, and their production went down by 85%. So the Netherlands are trying to cut them down by 30% now. So their production is probably going to go down by 50%. And they're the second largest producer in the world of crops, apparently. You know, they've got a lot of greenhouses and things like that. Yeah, so they went on this trip, if I can find it. Yeah, this wildflower trip. I'll pick it through. And there's 2 wonderful photographs in this trip they went on. Yeah, I've got to stand up soon. So sorry, I can't do the same sort of thing. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow or something. But I just want to show you these 2 photographs. I got this one of Sarah. Where is it? Yeah, got these lovely wildflower photographs. If I can get to it. Yeah, I might do it tomorrow. I've already done it. I've done it in early videos. I might find the link to them or something. So they go on this thing, lots of black and white ones. Yeah, Sarah Senior in the wild. So I think, which is good, because there's a wild photograph. I always used to like the landscape sort of work sort of thing. That's why I like the thread gold and Bailey, or I can't remember now. I've put it up there before. But yeah, it's got these ones. But what's interesting about this one, they've got your intermediate and everything. You've got your minor. And look how sun-bleached it is. Then you've got this one here. But notice how that the lamina, the traps, are paler to the very, very dark green petioles. And they're very shiny, which goes back to the words of Zahl again about leaf shininess. But the important point here is somewhere down here, yeah, Edgecombe. Now Edgecombe is a known serpentine area, and it's one like White Lakes. So Edgecombe and White Lakes are two serpentine areas, and of course the fly traps from White Lakes have been in certain areas known to grow underwater for over a decade. So all this, you know, good drainage and all that thing. Again, it's all a bit of bunkum basically. So yeah, anyway. Sorry, I might do a better job tomorrow if people actually say they want a better version of that and they want to read the article sort of thing. But it's a very old one, I don't think. I've got one on tapuis. It's a fairly modern one. I think it's 96, I think, or something like that. So a few other things too. So, you know, might do another one tomorrow once they've done. Well, I don't think they're going to be doing paving out there. So, yeah, you might start to see the pattern of the paving start tomorrow. So, yeah. And yeah, my lower limbs. The blood's coming back to my lower limbs now. Pins and needles. It will be. Time to go and have another cup of coffee, I think. So, yeah, is that a different digger? I don't know. I thought the other one was a light grey one or something. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look at the videos. But, yeah, might start to look a bit specky. Be nice to have a really big half sphere, you know, hemisphere bowl with a nice colony-sized cephalotus just sitting there or something like that, or maybe a whole lot of pots with cephalotus, you know, in these colony pots that hang, you know, drip irrigation colony pots or something, a wall feature or something of just cephalotus dripping down to the next cephalotus, dripping down to the next cephalotus all the way to, that would be nice. So, you know, we might get there in the next few years, starting to learn a few things. But anyway, that's about it for this one, I think. And it's basically just a backup for John or something. You know, he gets thrown into one of these old folks' homes and he loses his little stapled you know, set of pages. I think you can always look this up online and reminisce, and hopefully if I've done all my colour work right, it will look absolutely fantastic like the one I did yesterday. I could not fault the colours in the clip of the final Zahl article. I believe I may have done something with the new National Geographic in the 90s. I may have to hunt that out. I don't know. I think he may have done an article with the new National Geographic, you know, the Dick Smith version of it. And Dick Smith did the new National Geographic, the Australian. What I'm saying is the Australian National Geographic. He did a version of the Australian National Geographic, Dick Smith. So you might want to look him up or something, and you might be able to search online about that too. So anyway, you know, something with Biblis or something, or something else. I think it was not many photographs, but interesting ones anyway. But anyway, that's about it for now. Over and out.